The redraft is happening now after game number 4.
It's Holy Island time.
Yeah, we're getting English versus Chinese.
Bro, this is so old school. The English used to be a really popular pick on Holy Island.
It is.
I'm excited.
I want to just jump right into it. Let's go.
What ballsy maneuver? I think we are ready to hop into it. We need to put another point in the board because, of course, DeMu finds himself now on match point after the redraft, and we have hopped into the map where he should have experienced dominance here. It's Holy Island time. I feel like the year is 2023 because we've got Chinese and English to clash.
On Holy Island, let's go. Game number 5 now between these two legends. Score's got to be flipped around. DeMu right now on match point against Kiljardi, and we're on a map that definitely favors DeMu, I want to say.
Oh, this is interesting, right? Like, China's definitely more on the meta, on with the cuff. I feel like, you know, I'm trying to think, what was the draft? Did DeMu by any chance have Mongols? Because I feel like the English pick, I'm trying to make a bit more sense of it. What was Kiljardi's thought process here? You'd usually think Juji, Japanese, Chinese, HRE. Not so often do you think English here.
Yeah, English is definitely a little bit of a curveball. I think overall, maybe the plan is, right? Like, we've seen it a couple of times, the strategy with the Admiralty early on. Like, it can be a very, very solid water map, water civ, where English, once they do get that Admiralty in, if the timing is good, you can downright just completely oppress your opponent with that, with the bonus range. When they can't get it.
Very expensive though, right? Like,
it is, but there is quite the distance between them on water. So you can sometimes like sneak it in time. Maybe even when you go for the Abbey of Kings, right? Like, you can delay your opponent a little bit, force them into an investment on land. And that just further opens up a window for Admiralty.
Frustrating for DeMu. Very early, he has to pull back the villager because that scout harassment does come in. I think you were talking about this yesterday, right? The whole idea is, you know, just target the villager straight away.
Yeah.
Get him low enough that he's going to have to pull him back. Meanwhile, other side, DeMu didn't mirror that move. Kiljardi is very content with his villager's state.
He is, and that also means that that second dock is going to get late. Idle time has been caused, and especially when you're idling out a villager that was gathering from the shoreline fish, that feels especially great. Like 30 seconds more walk time, that's essentially 30 food down.
Yeah, very important here considering China builds those docks so much quicker than the English. And yeah, the interesting things you might think, why not club the sheep, something like that? It's just not worth it, right? The sheep realistically shouldn't matter here.
Don't matter. Yeah, it's a water map, right?
So, I'm expecting Imperial Academy here, right? There's no way
it should be like you don't Barbican straight up, and Imperial Official should also be coming in right about now. Kiljardi now sending 3 villagers over to gold.
I wonder, you know, do you go King or Council? I feel like King is just kind of a given, but maybe Council Hall and 5 Lombos could do more damage.
Council Hall is nice, but King gives you like that continued damage, right? Because you can always go in and out, heal. Longbows, though, I mean, you can make it work. The issue with Longbows is that they can easily get walled because they can't dive past the TC.
Yeah, I think my thought process, usually what you see Chinese players do, they do the tight wall, right? Yeah. Where the tree line starts, and Longbows can exploit that from either side. But usually, like we've seen, Chinese just find a way to get 3 or 4 horsemen and then ruin you. Yeah. I think that used to be the meta, right? Is you see a Lombo opening, horseman reaction, and then China had an advantage on land.
Yeah. So far, drop timing should be pretty solid from Kiljardi here. He's got still a lot of villagers working on food on those sheep, so definitely more of a focus on that early age up now. And DeMu, he's only like a single fishing ship ahead at this point in time, so this play definitely working out here for Kiljardi, and it's a very quick Abbey of Kings as well, with 7 villagers working on that.
That's wild. I thought it was going to be a casual trend and just try to boom up the eco, but he sees a weakness, right? An opportunity to get that first galley out very fast and a little bit more affordable, even when you invest this many villagers, considering the discount.
I want to say that I think that those 7 villagers, they're not going to return to wood. I think they might all go with gold for the Admiralty.
That
like,
can actually work.
Them do. At least 2. At least 2.
Yeah, it can work because I think actually with this kind of trending, you can get your galley and then go about Admiralty afterwards, right? Like, you want to open that galley to try and harass eco because look at the count. Like, DeMu has, I think is it 10 fishing? 8. Up to 8. So by the time the galley gets in, there's going to be
6.
Probably 11 fishing boats at least.
Now 7. Second dock coming in. Abbey of Kings now as well. And Imperial Academy just been clicked by DeMu now.
before working on it, so decent build speed. Remember, China builds these much quicker, so it's not going to take them too long. But this is kind of a disgusting timing, right? You've now got the galley on water and the king on land, and they're going to have almost simultaneous sync up for hitting economy.
Yeah. Galley's going to make its way immediately across, and Kiljardi, there's also that big discount on your water.
Yeah, the 10%, right?
Yeah, yeah. So you're also able... And at the same time, there was also a buff on water in general, with the ships costing a little bit less food.
Yes.
So you don't actually need to have as many fishing ships as your opponent necessarily, especially as English here, with that buff together. So Kiljardi should relatively soon be able to afford a Hulk behind that. And there we go, Hulk now in queue as well, before DeMu even gets his first ship in queue.
It's kind of weird, actually, that like discount. It's going to sound odd, but with the change to the cost, it kind of actually crippled the value of the discount a bit. Because like,
a little bit, yeah, but it's still a pretty hefty
anyway.
discount. Yeah, yeah. Outpost has gone up. King still is going to cause some idle time here. Is he though? Villager. The Villager did go down.
And the other one is not helping the matter here, but it looks like Kiljardi, I think he maybe jumped away a bit too soon there, right? The King might have been able to do some chip damage. He's not going to die quickly to the outpost, but a good start to the game for the Finn.
Definitely.
More follow-up as well. Looks like he did get a fishing boat here. 2 worker kills on the board. Galley comes out from DeMu, so doesn't even react with the Springwood opening. I think he was worried about a follow-up ship here.
Another fishing ship going down. Lots of idle time being caused as well. Kiljardi in this one looking very, very solid. Gets the galley out as well. Or should at least.
Man, the sails might be able to cut him off, but it doesn't look like DeMu's using it. There we go.
But there's a Hulk as well from
Disables
Kiljardi.
it. I don't think he gets out of here.
Yeah, the cutoff is coming in just in time.
Beautifully done. I love that. Straight away.
But the demo ship.
Follow up.
You got to decide demo ship or galley.
He can't.
Demo ship or galley.
He used man the sails already. There's no getting away from this.
But is it? It's dead.
Enough.
It's dead.
Trade out though.
DeMu though with his own. Oh, the demo from DeMu though.
So it will be a trade out.
He's going to come out ahead actually. He's got the galley remaining.
Look at Kiljardi's follow up though. Longbows now on the way.
And there's only one outpost, right? So the gold can get idled out completely.
Not just that, I'm looking at that tree line. I don't have a good feeling for DeMu in this game. He needs to sniff it out. His scout, though, does he see it? I need to check on that. It's very critical, actually, because if he knows about the longbows that's inception, he can pull a bit of resource towards horsemen. He has no clue.
He doesn't know it yet.
Wait, because his scout is in the outpost. He's keeping him there as a permanent defense.
There it is, though. Outpost does scout it. Knight is coming in. Is he? Oh, barely doesn't get the kill. Now the longbow is going to be able to completely shut down the gold. One more demolition ship coming in for DeMu, though.
Has Kiljardi done it? Is this enough to crack him? I mean, DeMu does still have a way of getting gold. That's the beauty of China here, right? The Imperial Academy, the taxation can give him something. So it's not an immediate, oh crap, no gold, you win the game. And DeMu, correct reaction here, gets to the stables, immediately queues up the horseman.
Yeah, the horseman definitely going to be able to give him back control over the land behind this. Kiljardi right now, he's massing a lot of Hulks. No archer ships though, and that's a little bit dangerous considering that DeMu still has a demolition ship out there. So at least on water, there's probably nothing like that's happening anytime soon here, unless DeMu might actually want to like push the offensive.
DeMu an opportunity to potentially snipe the scout here, which would make it a bit more problematic. That's actually very risky if it happens, because Kiljardi playing longbows blind here is never a good feeling. And we do have Admiralty now on the way.
Yeah, now it makes sense that Kiljardi is just spamming out Hulks right now, because with them you're able to almost like return to the spin to win meta with that bonus range, because you just shoot, you spin, you go away, you shoot, you spin, you go away.
It's Castle Age light, right? Because obviously in Castle Age you usually go Springle Cruise to get that +1 range.
Imagine if you now reach Castle Age first and you get that on top of it and you suddenly have like 2 tile range advantage.
Stop, you're illegal.
Barracks now also coming in, so Kiljardi might also add just a couple of spearmen. You don't need too many spearmen or to completely counter out these horsemen. 2 spearmen, like 1 spearman per 2 horsemen, completely enough here.
I think the interesting thought here is like, it's a very strong move right now for Kiljardi, but someone I see time and time again, China just one of the best civs at getting that ridiculous demo pump going. It's something Kiljardi is going to probably pad himself against with additional galleys.
Yeah. I mean, he's also delaying that demo pump just by delaying the gold income as well. So for that, he's in a good position now, also applying pressure on water. And there we go. So oppressive here with the bonus range.
It's an awkward one. DeMu starts to prime the demos, though. And it is close to the front line. Rally point a little bit off the mark there. He's going to start moving in, but that one galley should be able to buffer this away.
Yeah. And especially with the bonus range, you're actually going to be able to snipe those demo ships with your hulks relatively easily.
And we'll begin to play that poke game. It's even easier to do this as well because of that extra range, right? Much harder to get caught off guard by demo spawning. Fishing about to be exposed as well. DeMu might be in a bind. He's even actually adding archers in on land now.
Kind of needs to against the Spearman now as well, but behind this, in theory, Kiljardi, he could just play the defense on land and just play aggressive on water. He doesn't need to fall out, like break out right now. He can just play it on water. He's getting his own demo pump now in as well.
DeMu? He's trying to make a land transition.
I don't like the Barbican here. I mean, sure, you use it as a defensive bull and go Song Dynasty as well, but that's going to put you so far behind now on water and on, in general, when it comes to like age of timings, potentially.
I've seen DeMu play these type of games before. We've seen with China, like, you don't immediately forfeit water, but you start to consider the possibility that land is realistic.
This feels like he's already surrendered water, and right now he's just trying to hold it and delay his opponent.
Yeah, so much for holding it. Fishing immediately gets cut here.
And the demolition ship gets a great connection there. Just needs to make sure that his own hulks are going to stay safe. Oh, more connections.
Two more demos arrive from DeMu from the flank. He had to come back to repel this, but right now Kiljardi is strong point here. Only one galley on the front side means he is going to have to reset. Eco damage was done, but it's not enough to convince Kiljardi he can cruise on the seaside. He needs to keep committed.
Indeed he does. More demolition ships in queue. These hulks with the bonus range able to snipe out those demolition ships one by one as well. The spin to win kinda is happening here right now as well. Every now and then just getting those shots off, being able to trade favorably here on water without closing the distance. At the same time, Kiljardi also aggressing further on land. He's gonna find the Barbican soon though.
Yeah, and he won't like it because he's starting to invest into more Lombos here. I think there might be a soft spot where you can still poke the goal without getting hit in return, though. And to be real, even if you do get hit by it, that king can just shrug it all off. Yeah. Demos.
Not going to find the connection. Was close, though. Another demo. Gets sniped in early as well. More demolition ships. Good snipes.
There's just too many spring ults right now. Trickling demos is the quickest way to end up losing this game. DeMu needs a small space, a small break, so you can get up to 3 or 4 demos to pump at once. Kiljardi, infamous for this. He doesn't give you that space.
Yeah. I'd also just soon start finally taking down those docks one by one. Dock already halfway done. It's just by these individual sprinkle shots every now and then.
Not easy to replace him. Now with the Lombos in the field, you're not coming out to build more docks. That's the other issue. DeMu realistically can't scale his production on sea. If it starts to fall, it's staying full.
Yeah.
Horseman.
And he's going into the wood line. There's no outpost or Barbican there. DeMu has to go away from the wood line now, and that's a village as well.
Army is mirroring. He's adding in more horsemen here. This is very expensive.
But now the demo ships not committing.
Could commit though. Goes again. Demos with the trade. Nice defense there by DeMu. Temporary reset, but the villages on land are fully idle here. The navy is distracting.
Gatling ship is going down.
Marches in again, not going to be able to find additional eco targets right now. DeMu struggling to find wood. He might have to move over to the Barbican location. In the meantime, it means he might be lacking the resources to man a defense here.
Ship doesn't get the connection again. Every time, just this trickle of demo ships.
I mean, I don't be able to there. DeMu is holding on the water side better than you expect.
He's able to win on land now. All the spearmen down.
Lombo surrounded here. He's going to lose the mass on land. He lost the king as well. So Kiljardi, that heavy investment on land completely backfiring. Now DeMu, he does give over a lot of ships on the sea here, but now an opportunity to go and do damage on land.
Damage on water definitely done though.
DeMu the demo. It's going to wipe him out.
No! What a connection at the same time on the opposite side. Also a big connection. Oh my god, most of the ships though staying alive. Barely though. Absolutely barely.
There is a follow-up. 2 more demos on the way. The army on land on the move. DeMu is not out of this yet. And behind it, look at the follow-up. He's about to trigger Castle Age.
He is indeed. Kiljardi behind this, still relatively far away. Never really reinvested into his own fishing. Well, DeMu going for the soft transition behind it now.
I mean, that's a hard commitment to get rid of it. The demos are still a threat here.
For the most part, an astronomical clock tower is coming in.
Backstab. Ooh, so close to being the golden boy hit here. Clock tower is indeed coming in. The army is now looking to hit the wood line, but Kiljardi's protected himself. The palisade went up very early. That is going to delay any eco damage to his back line.
Yeah, and he's now reinvesting into some of his own longbows. Issue still is going to be that land long term, right? Because now, that's a beautiful demo hit on them. Because now, DeMu is going to be in castle age. He has a timing window now in order to make something happen there with armored units and his tech advantage.
He's going to be fast about it, though. It is realistically land versus fishing here. The good news is
he's
got
adding
plenty
in
of
TCs. Yeah, he's now heavily on stone, so DeMu might be adding in some additional TCs now.
Makes a lot of sense.
Palisade, he's going to go down.
Opening emerges here. Kiljardi actually prepping the men-at-arms because he is anticipating he should be able to catch up into H3 quickly as well. Imagine you're going for a white tower here to just stop this potential timing the Chinese
You're on water, so you definitely don't need a King's Palace. Yeah. White tower definitely would help you here, not just in order to have a defensive building on land, but also in order to give you that big, fast siege advantage, because you get inherently like 2 siege workshops out of that.
Chinese fishing boats just trying to defect.
They're just going to be scouting now.
Yeah, just go sit with the other fishing boats. One of you. In the meantime, we have got a move towards relics now. DeMu, the cool thing about this is if he actually wants, he can supervise to get those out super fast and just try to hit a timing before there's any knights from the English.
King's White Tower should be coming in soon now, and it is indeed the White Tower. Where's that going to get placed? So it's going to be placed right inside the base of Kiljardi. I'm not a big fan of that. It doesn't really protect anything.
No.
But the TC, we got a trade ship here, but that's fishing for the moment.
I mean, not even your tree line really gets protected by this anymore. It's
not protecting anything. Berries.
It's protecting all those houses.
Yeah.
I mean, people come home from a hard day of work. They don't have to worry about raiders killing them while they sleep.
True.
Very immersive.
Yeah.
First Lancers also arriving. DeMu just wants to keep him contained. Stone has been gathered up for that second TC. In fact, 250 surplus. I think it's just him actually kind of over-gathering a bit. I don't think you go 3 TC here as Chinese. That's an old build.
Yeah, also going 3 TC means that you're investing just so much food into villagers. But with the age up, King suddenly gets a lot more armor, a lot more health as well. Isn't going down easily. DeMu trying to go for the base now of Kiljardi, but he might just dip inside the range of the White Tower, and indeed, White Tower does as White Tower does. Knight is going to go down before he gets a villager kill.
Yeah, and ranged armor too. I don't think it was being supervised here, so a little bit slow coming in. DeMu does have a new wave on the way, though. Crossbow defense is being manned up by Kiljardi.
Crossbows and men-at-arms.
And a substantial military lead, but remember, a lot of that is locked onto the water side, and we do not accept Flying Dutchman cheats here.
Yeah, now though, with the potential of building a land army really quickly, DeMu massing up resources has enough for an SFP. Issue is, what else does he really make now at this point in time against the army from Kiljardi? He's gonna have to make a similar army composition of just palace guards and crossbows. The issue with that is that that's very expensive, and you can make like, what, 10 units with that? But then all your food bank is already gone, and if Kiljardi then pushes you off of food resources, that's going to be really tough. Right now, DeMu, he's just buying himself time with these knights, making sure Kiljardi has to stay inside of his base to defend.
I think this is a keep drop near the central sacred site. That will also secure the boar and the berries. That will give you a little bit more food to work with here. And then you could use surplus stone to wall the north side and secure all that back food as the Chinese.
Yeah. Keep drop might be coming in, but without any military at all to defend. Actually, barely lacks the stone in order to go for the keep. 850 stone right now.
Yeah, so he's going to boldly walk out, get that one drop off, and then get the keep drop.
Kiljardi needs to move out right now.
I don't think he's going to. He's too busy building his pretty walls.
There he goes.
Marches north, though. And he doesn't have a scout. So if you check Kiljardi's vision, unlikely he'd see a keep drop on DeMu's side of the sacred site. Oh my god, are you kidding?
He sees it, there we go.
When did that outpost go up? What?
It's a Chinese keep though. It's going up quickly.
He needs to march faster than this, and most of his army is immobile.
He's got the gold villagers there as well.
Yeah, but he needs to be using them on it, and there we go. Good game instincts from DeMu there. will get the castle up. Kiljardi will not deny him here, and it shouldn't really be much eco damage either. Good micro, shifts the east side in, and goes back to gathering the stone, while the king goes 6 feet under.
Yeah, really quickly as well.
Yes, Views as well. Ooh, get out of my lawn, get off my property. DeMu now has a decent amount of gold, a decent amount of stone. He might actually start turning this into a good old French one here, Maginot Line defense.
Yeah, and this might actually turn into a bit of a longer game now that things have sort of started to calm down. Both players establishing themselves, Kiljardi on water, DeMu on the land. The issue though long term is that fishing, it's good in the short term. It's not so good of a food source long term, especially when you're playing as the English, which do want to go out to farms. And they would also benefit a lot more from the farms. Granted, trade at least on water is definitely a good option there. Kiljardi getting about 80 resources with every single trip.
Stonewall's now coming in from DeMu, so he's priming himself for a later phase of the game. I mean, we have to start being realistic, thinking about if we get there, if this does head into imp, into maximum pop, is it capable that the English to overtake this? Is it possible that they can wipe out the Chinese, or is China late game just too good?
I hope that if it's the case that we're seeing like an Imperial Age game coming out of these two players, which from the looks of it definitely is going to be the plan from DeMu here, working towards it, getting 5 relics
insane.
as well. That is filthy at this point in time. All the Stonewall's also buying him so much time here. Barely has a military force, but with those defensive buildings, feels secure enough that he doesn't need to invest into it more.
This should just be the Great Wall Gatehouse on the wall right next to the Barbican, right? Like another keep, essentially.
It provides you protection for that large stone mine as well, so you can just get more keeps.
Just leapfrog, leapfrog, leapfrog. So Relic now on the way back. Granary transition now underway. It seems like DeMu isn't just going to jump the gun a bit. Admittedly, his defense force is a little bit fragile if he goes imp immediately here.
Yeah. Imperial Palace coming in instead. I mean,
cool.
He's got 3 relics, right? He's got 5 relics, but 3 relics is what you can put in the pagodas. And every single relic inside of a pagoda is worth more than inside of a Regnitz Cathedral.
That is sick. And also, now, think about the vision here. There's no sneaky move Kiljardi can make. The Stonewall to the north and this vision is just going to allow him to see everything. Scary time now in the game for Kiljardi. And, you know, yes, he's got the eco on water, but that does have its limitations in the food department. At some point, you have to start thinking about these farms.
Yeah, I mean, DeMu pretty much completely caught up on the economy here now. Can we quickly check Kiljardi's stock? Does he have the fishing ship upgrades inside of the stocks?
You'd hope at least level 1.
He needs them, right? Like, he absolutely needs them.
So if on the docks for the fishing, we want to know if we've got ourselves some fishing upgrades. It's quite important here.
He doesn't have the first one. Doesn't even have the first one.
We've seen this before in the last game on Tex from Kiljardi, and we saw how it hurt him.
Oh, that hurts. That definitely hurts, because now at this point in time, the granaries are coming in, and DeMu...
He's priming it.
Yeah, he's about to take over Kiljardi when it comes to the food income.
Wait a second. Does the Great Wall Gatehouse have range there? Because the trade is pathing like a clown here. It's going, like, is it...
No,
this case
not
good.
going to be in range yet. Close.
We've seen some stupid trade routes, but you know the ones I'm talking about, where they like just randomly go right next to the edge? Floodplain was terrible for that.
Up to 3 trebuchets now, and DeMu suddenly is forced to reinforce into to reinvest into his military. Suddenly we've got a pretty big army here now from Kiljardi, 3 Springles as well.
At these Nest of Bees though, got to show the appropriate respect. Does back away.
Yeah, you need more Springles.
This is kind of wild though. Look what DeMu is checking into.
We're getting some horsemen in there. I would love to see horsemen actually from Kiljardi here, because right now it's literally only like the siege and crossbows.
Yeah, usually it's spearmen, but when you're against English, you kind of always shy away from that by default.
So trebuchets coming in.
It's not going to be the quickest kill here. DeMu should realistically have more than enough time to drop a key behind this or get the Imperial tech up. That's why the pressure's going to start to mount up. Kiljardi begins to march in underneath the keep.
Ooh, Springles need to be careful though. The keep could focus them and kill them very, very quickly here.
Stuck past right now. Goes to the trade
as well. And there we go. First Springles gets taken down by the keep.
Second one might not be able to last much longer here. Kiljardi does back out of range entirely. Castle is going to be repaired and kept alive for longer. DeMu buying vital time. Remember that granary transition is almost 3 full deep. Once that's online, the Zerg can begin for the Chinese.
Yeah, and DeMu's got the resource. Great Wall Gatehouse is now coming in on the west side. To be fair though, Trebuchets, if they see it, if they destroy it, there's outposts. He should see it. Does he see the... He sees...
You got...
Does he? Sees...
This is...
Oh, he's stuck on the Imperial Palace though.
It's edging it.
Oh, it's gonna go up. If he cancels it...
It feels too late, right? Like, he needs to rush across now, but if he does that, the Nest of Bees might simply intercept. Instead, he sends it straight down the center here. Is there an opportunity to bypass? Have we got another keep behind this from DeMu? Because he's going to need a secondary defense against the dive.
There is indeed another keep going up right behind it.
On realization incoming.
In.
Kiljardi, he's not too far off from Imp himself, but DeMu has started to grasp into the scary point of the game for the Chinese. Age 4 now upon us.
Looks like we're in for another Imperial Age game, but Roller Shuttle Triggers is coming in supervised with an Imperial official as well. And very quickly we're going to be seeing those Springles from DeMu being able to take favorable fights here against the Springles from Kiljardi.
I'm more worried about what happens to the bio. Pyrotechnics being queued up. It's your favorite kind of defense, isn't it, from the Chinese? Nest of Bees, keeps,
yeah,
everything you ever want.
It's not my China style, but it's one of them.
It seems to be working for him now. Greased Axle's also on the way.
Oh, and it's a Berkshire. Not going to be seeing the Wind Guard here, and win is what you want to do.
So loose Shire is going to be. And remember, as long as there's a little bit of help in this Imperial Palace, it should be giving DeMu all the vision around the area. So really frustrating for Kiljardi. And we have got the Palace Guard pump being prepped here. Elite Army Tactics also now on the way. Yes, Kiljardi is following him, but we have to remember he can't supervise, he can't accelerate. He's going to be at a tech disadvantage here.
Off. I think at this point, what you really want to use the Trebuchets for is snipe the mining camp from DeMu on the gold. Just make sure that the villagers can't gather.
Because, you know, you don't want another keep. Or maybe some more gunner boys on the way, but it's already getting a bit scary here. I mean, realistically, you mentioned earlier Horseman for Kiljardi. It feels like he needs it now, but when I look at an income of 800 food a minute...
It's nothing. Can we please check the docks again? I think I know what we're going to be seeing. It hurts.
144 gamer hertz. That is not what you want to be seeing whatsoever. Kiljardi, he is going to get the enclosures, but guys, this is not a 2 TC build, right? He probably has, what, I'd say about 20 farms max? Probably less. Okay, we're adding a few more. It legit, I think it's just 2 farms. Oh my god.
And only just started. Berkshire, for the moment at least, is going to be able to do some damage here, but now the bombards are getting prepped.
Upgrades are coming through. Shut triggers on the way. Now, a lot of Springles here. That will at least offset the problem of dealing with these Nest of Bees finally. But just as you deal with one problem, another might emerge. DeMu, kind of just reminiscent of the Malian game, says, I've got all the resources in the world. He's reluctant to immediately show it, but this could easily be mass hand cannoneers or mass Palace Guard. Why not both?
Can't afford it. Looking at the income from DeMu, we're in like one of those situations again, very similar, akin to the Ottoman versus Mali game. Springles though, taking a great engagement here from Kiljardi, sniping a lot of the siege.
Oh wait, DeMu's going back on water. We've got Sneak in the center, we've got Armored Hulls being prepped. What a snake here to block out the gold.
Kiljardi, where he's down to 4 Springle ships. He deleted most of them.
He's losing this fight on land as well. Like, he's in range of the Great Wall Gatehouse. It's hand cannon near backline here. I don't think you break through with this as the English.
Definitely don't. Also pushing into the keep there.
Oh my god. And it's about to on. It's in. It's in on the water side. Kiljardi is about to lose water after winning it 15 minutes ago.
Also keep further trying to solidify his comeback now on water. And I feel like as soon as Kiljardi sees that suddenly DeMu not only has the land, but also blocks out his water, that is going to be a really uncomfortable situation. Kiljardi currently sitting at roughly 3,500 resources per minute. DeMu on the other side at over 6K.
And he doesn't need to chase necessarily. Just a blockade alone takes the gold out of the equation. Right now, Kiljardi has one big lifeline. It's in that north near the trade post. That gold is vital. If it ever gets seen, this game is over. DeMu now marching forward. We have got network of castles. I don't think we've got network of citadels, though. I don't think that upgrade actually came in.
Char is helping at least here. Backline's getting sniped.
Oh, no extra buff. So favorable fight for DeMu every day of the week. Remember, this is Yuan Dynasty, so those reinforcements arrive incredibly quick.
Springle's getting sniped.
Needs to get out fast. The Berkshire is going to buy him some time, but realistically, 1 or 2 bombards here is not difficult. In the meantime, it is going to turn into a full naval war. The English, we don't take it nicely when someone says they win on water. We're very proud about that. So it's Carrick investment from Kiljardi to try and defend.
Such a tough one as well, and something to consider as well is that these ships do AoE damage, and Kiljardi didn't split up his ships there. Takes a lot of damage there in that first engagement. Now DeMu is fully back on water. Not only that, look at the gold income, 3,000 gold per minute. The income, the economy, just so insane. All the upgrades are coming in behind this.
Yeah, we're going to get some fireworks on the sea. We've got the extra level of armored hull, even more HP in the boot. And Kiljardi, I don't think he's been sinking the same types of techs. He's trying to mirror hand cannoneers, but this is an absolute nightmare for the English.
Yeah, it's not the gold that he's lacking in order to produce them, it's the food that is still an issue, and it's going to become more of an issue now as the entire fish is going to be gone.
Crazy to think that Pagoda player amplified so much. Not Pagoda, it's more Pagoda in this game. Springle's getting added in once more just to guarantee a restriction on the siege side of things. The only threat right now to DeMu is a potential Mangonel play, something that Kiljardi will struggle to hit with now. Berkshire still is at least buying him some time to make some moves, but the eco game is really what's worrying me here.
Trebuchet's behind this, trying to take down all of these defensive buildings from DeMu, but he's got the resource to just rebuild them pretty much instantly, repairing as well on the landmark, on the Great Wall Gatehouse if need be. And now Kiljardi suddenly down a lot of economy, down to 74 eco units now.
And he's 1 TC, remember, there was never a King's Pass, there's never a hope of a quick reboom on land. Plenty of farms there, yes, but now quite divided in what he can actually get. And the gold got found, it got blocked out. So now we're talking about a game where only enclosures is there. And you're getting into a hand cannoneer whizzing contest.
And there aren't that many farms even. I mean, Kiljardi just reinvested a lot of the farms, but looking at the villager counts, like there can't be too many working on them.
Siege works also on the way, just to make sure he can finally brutalize into the defenses with the siege. Valtran should be mopping up the last. At this point, realistically, adding Carrick is just a waste of gold you no longer have.
Yeah, and with that, water is now lost. Trebuchets also need to fall back. Has the backline though. Kiljardi has some army here in order to keep these trebuchets alive. This is your lifeline. You need to start taking down some of the infrastructure from your opponent, but the Springles did get taken down now by those hand cannoneers.
I mean, the counter is good for Kiljardi. The problem right now is the hand cannoneers are just worse variety, right? Yes, they've got the attack speed, but the range is really what's going to start to matter here. Especially when you have to start pushing out. Meanwhile, it looks like DeMu is going to push in past the Berkshire. He's heading straight for the farms.
God, and with that, I feel like it's over. At this point in time, we can see it with the cameras.
It's going to be it. That is it. DeMu, he's going to do it. He is your king of the north. 4-1 to get a win for Sweden.
GG.
What a series, what a performance. DeMu on top form. We expected it from the Brit/Swede coming here to Norway. A lot of people had him pegged as a favorite, and he proves why, dropping, I believe, a total of 3 games across this entire tournament.